Practice squad week 4. I can't believe they still let us do this.
The repercussions of the NFL's national anthem demonstrations continue to mount, but lost in all the pandemonium is how the American flag feels about the controversy. Practice squad received this statement: "I'm not an actual living thing. I'm a piece of cloth. I have no feelings on the subject or any subject, because I don't feel, because I'm inanimate." You're right, flag. Symbols like the flag are not living things. But despite being utterly devoid of meaning unto themselves, symbols have a way of inciting a wide range of emotions in all of us. Symbols are potent, polarizing, and provocative. In a time where division has pit neighbor against neighbor, well, technically not neighbors, because America is as racially and socioeconomically segregated as it has ever been. But you get the idea. So before you disparage those dummies that disagree with you again, Practice Squad is here with a constructive suggestion. We want to unify America with a new symbol on which we can all together project our hate. It's the new Practice Squad logo. Take a look. Sitting up there looking all dumb. You ain't better than me with your wannabe hip font and your coastal elite colors and your morally superior self-important curves.
Cut.
All right, so people in America hate a lot of things. Let this be the symbol for all that you hate. No longer do you need to hit the streets lugging a wooden cross and kerosene. Tiki torches can go back to keeping away mosquitoes instead of black people. Do you hate police brutality? Then kneel when you see this logo. Later today, when this logo spontaneously pops into your head, raise a fist. No need to explain yourself to classmates or coworkers. Just say, you know what this is about. Do you hate racism? Or do you just hate other races? Print this out and burn it, and then send us a video of the carnage. Do you hate climate change? Or do you just hate people who can't stop talking about climate change? What about vegans? Hate them too? Fine, print out the logo and eat it. Then some diuretics and leave it in the toilet where it belongs. But we don't need receipts on that one. We'll take your word for it. So, put away your Twitter fingers. We no longer need to subtweet the president or scapegoat minorities. We're better than that. We have the Practice Squad logo. Together, we can overcome the divisions of this country by channeling our anger and frustration towards a meaningless symbol that we can all agree is hot garbage. So in the name of creating a happier America, do your part. Deface our logo. Or you could take steps to address the systematic economic and racial inequalities that keep this country from living up to its stated ideals. Nah.
Hey, this is Monis Khan, special correspondent for Practice Squad. Over the last week, it's really clear that Americans are having trouble agreeing on anything. Kneeling during the national anthem isn't appropriate. Linking arms is meaningless. We're here running up on people during their lunch hour in Washington, D.C. to ask them how NFL players should be protesting. Hey, Monis Khan, ESPN. Now, Thomas, you're a fan of the NFL. Are you bothered at all by the protests that have been taking place?
No, not at all. I think it's good to see these different players as role models in the community, and I think it's good for them to stand up for something they believe in.
Now, Madeline, you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Have you been tuning in this season?
I have not because of this. I refuse to, and it's so unfortunate. I love the Steelers. I've been a Steeler fan for over 20 years. I just refuse to, I refuse to watch.
Do you have a favorite type of protest?
No, I really haven't thought about that as far as sports goes, so I don't know if I can really comment on a favorite type. But, I think that this is, a good, peaceful way to kind of stand up for themselves.
What if, instead of saying, blue 42, he said, police brutality, we gotta stop it, hike!
No, that don't compute with the game.
So to keep it out of the game.
Yeah, keep it out of the game.
Once the kickoff happens, no more.
Yeah.
Everyone agrees. Police brutality is absolutely terrible. But what do you think is like a more effective way to actually do something about it than making this demonstration during a sport game?
Yeah. How about Congress? Start with Congress. Let's
if football players went and spoke to Congress about their concerns.
Absolutely, and I think that would have a greater impact on people.
The politicians have kind of misled us on the reasons why NFL players are protesting.
Yes, they are.
So you know what we should do? We should just kneel every time we see them on TV.
don't think that was going to do anything. I don't think that's going to do.
I'm out of ideas, bro. You keep on all my ideas, man.
I ain't.
No, it's not personal, but clearly I'm firing blanks out here. What if instead of kneeling, they did something else, like a topless protest, like they just didn't wear shirts?
I think any kind of protest is appropriate as long as there's boundaries. Nobody's hurting anybody. Nobody's being abusive.
Just showing off some pecs.
I love it. Bring it.
Okay, we're on to something here. We're going to stand up. We might not wear a shirt. We may not have shirts on, but we will stand up because it's a beautiful song. And the singers are singing so well. They're here too,
It is a beautiful song, and if people would actually take the time to read the lyrics.
Except for the third verse. Have you heard about the third verse?
The third verse is a little funky. I
A
know.
little funky. So let's not read those lyrics, but before that, in case people forgot, this is what America is like.
It really is.
It's just chatting. It's just having fun. And
No anger, no abuse.
and if there are people who are abusing, discriminating, brutalizing, we're against you. Unified.
Totally against you.
Unified.
Yeah, not good.
Tribalism, the behavior and attitudes that stem from strong loyalty to one's own tribe or social group. It's at the root of so many of our strongest held biases. Biases that become the underpinning for many of our actions and opinions. Researchers like Jonathan Haidt have shown that in many cases, our opinions are formed immediately, almost instinctively, before we've had time to let logic and reasoning guide us to an informed position. Instead, we use logic and reasoning like a shield and sword to defend our beliefs and attack opposing views, all while we've convinced ourselves that our opinions are the only logical ones. So why is football the perfect place for our social and political differences to play themselves out? Because where else is our tribalism so brazen? Think about the games you've watched recently. I bet despite watching the same plays and replays, you and rival fans saw a questionable pass interference called differently. Our tribalism and fandom even bleed into how we respond to more serious issues that find their way into sports. How else do you explain Ravens fans cheering Ray Rice's return to the practice field while he was being reviled nationwide in the wake of the infamous elevator punch? Maybe Scottish philosopher David Hume was right when he said, "Reason is fit to be the slave of the passions." So as the ranks of national anthem demonstrators grow and the original message gets muddled and the president has taken a side and we all get more entrenched, I'm not tired of having my fan experience injected with more social issues, but I am tired of Americans reacting to social issues like football fans.